Hello, Boces team. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone for participating in the Employee Sentiment Survey. We had 936 employees take the survey, which was 67% of our organization. That is 11% increase over last year. This year's survey showed an increase across the board. A large majority of the employees are happy to be part of Boces and find their job rewarding. There was also a 9% increase in the amount of employees who considered their workplace to be positive and motivating. One of the largest gains from last year was that employees felt that they were recognized by their peers more. This increased by 15% over last year. Each department will be going over the results with their teams to look for celebrations and areas for improvement. Collecting this data every year allows us to see how far we've come and where we can focus our efforts to improve the employee experience. The full set of results can be found by clicking on the link below in the newsletter. One of the questions that was added this year was about belonging and diversity. As we step into February, a month dedicated to honoring and reflecting the rich tapestry of Black history, I am reminded of the words of Maya Angelou. In diversity, there is beauty and there is strength. At Boces, we believe that cultivating diversity, equity, and inclusion is essential and that everyone should feel like they're treated with dignity and respect. At Boces, we have a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. This committee was formed to make sure that all employees feel like they belong and are appreciated. I am here with Carrie Bullock, the Assistant Superintendent for Instructional Support Services, and she is going to tell us a little bit about DE&I and why it's important here at Boces.
Thank you. DE&I want to start by just defining those terms, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity really being the mix of similarities and differences among our staff and our students that are represented here at Boces. We know that we are a very diverse organization, and so as we think about equity, really helping everyone get what they need to be successful, and inclusion, helping everyone feel a sense of belonging, it's so essential as we think about our diverse population for a variety of reasons. As we think about diversity in staff and in students, we know that it's important because it allows us to bring in different perspectives to the work that we do. And we need that to be successful. We need that to be innovative, creative, and so we invite and celebrate the diversity that we have here with our staff and our students. Equity, we need to consider that not everyone's starting at the same point, so we have to consider what are the supports, the resources that we need to put into place depending on where people are to help them feel successful. And we have to consider those ways that we're including all of our staff and creating that sense of belonging. And so that is really what the DE&I committee at Boces has been all about. And the focus has been on our staff with our priority of improving the employee experience.
So the DEI committee has been active for a couple of years now. So what are some of the things the DEI committee has been focusing on?
We have really begun learning together. And so that has looked like the committee coming together on a regular basis. And having learning opportunities. This year we've learned about implicit bias and what that looks like and how it presents itself and what we can do about that. We've learned about microaggressions and what that means. And we've been thinking about what all staff should know related to these terms and how we can be supportive of one another. One of the priorities that we have is to expand training and learning opportunities for all staff. And we know that much of our staff are interested in that. So that's something we want to expand upon. We've had the lens of improving the employee experience through all of our meetings. And so one of the things that the committee has been involved with was providing feedback on the employee sentiment survey questions. So that we were asking the best questions to get the best data that can help us move forward. The committee has been involved in thinking about our onboarding processes so that we create a welcoming space for all right from the first day or even before the first day for new staff. And so those just are a few of the activities and initiatives we've been working on this year.
So being part of the committee, because I'm part of that committee as well, I really have enjoyed watching the committee look at all aspects of Boces through the lens of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We also are trying to get staff more involved. So there's a couple of new things that have come out. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, so something that just really started in 2024 was the affinity groups. We put some information out about an affinity group, which really is a group that has a common identity, portion of their identity, that they want to meet and just have conversations and create a network where they feel they can be themselves and have a sense of belonging. And the first affinity group to meet was the LGBTQ plus group. And they had their first informational session in January and now are establishing monthly meetings starting in February and moving beyond that. And the group is really excited about their opportunities to connect with one another and really create that sense of belonging. And we're looking to expand affinity groups into other areas as well. We've had areas of interest such as single moms connecting. We had areas of interest in living clean and sober, and we continue to invite ideas about other possible affinity groups moving forward.
So I think the committee has really done an excellent job. What's next?
Well, I know we've had a lot of conversations around the affinity groups, so we want to continue to think about next steps with that and how we can support facilitators, support folks in wanting to come forward and have that connection with folks across the organization. We want to continue learning together. And so having learning opportunities for the committee, but also thinking about how that translates into learning opportunities for all staff is what we've really been focusing on as our next steps. And I think lastly, a piece that we've been trying to just celebrate diversity is we started to talk about publishing a monthly cultural commemorations document, which will highlight cultural celebrations and highlights by the month from various cultures. And so those documents will be posted on our website. We will be referencing them really to celebrate the diversity that we have here and across the greater organization.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
This month, I encourage you to participate in local events to learn more about diverse cultures and to initiate conversations to promote understanding and respect. Let's reflect on our practices and policies to ensure that they are equitable and inclusive. If you notice something that you think needs to be reviewed or revised, seek out your manager so that we can make sure that this place is a place where everyone feels like they belong. We must continually strive to create an environment where every student and staff member feel valued and empowered. Understand, we are a diverse organization where everyone doesn't look and sound the same. Give each other grace and remember that we are all here for the same purpose.